Welcome back to day 3 of Pitch Vision Academy. Look, today we're going to completely shift your perspective. We're taking you from being a casual fan who just watches the ball to a professional analyst who actually sees the invisible game. Seriously, get ready because today's explainer is going to change how you watch football forever. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at goals versus goal creation, the anatomy of build-up play, mastering space and movement, the arsenal of passes, spotting patterns of play, and finally, the analyst challenge. Let's just dive right into the foundational buckets of how teams actually create those chances on the pitch. Section 1, goals versus goal creation. So there's a really stark contrast in mindsets here. When the ball hits the net, your casual fan just cheers. Hey, nice goal, right? But the analyst, they're looking at it and saying, wow, that goal came from excellent build-up play, beginning with the goalkeeper calmly playing out from the back. You see, while most folks just celebrate that final touch, the analyst appreciates everything happening in the shadows. Actually creating the goal is just as crucial as the finish itself. Moving on to Section 2, the anatomy of build-up play. Now, what exactly is build-up play? Simply put, it's how a team moves the ball from its own half into attacking areas. And listen, it is never random. It's a calculated, highly deliberate progression of the ball out of your defensive territory right up into the danger zone. It's literally the absolute foundation of modern attacking football. To kind of visualize this, imagine a sequence starting right from a goal kick. The keeper plays it out to the center back, who then finds the defensive midfielder, pushing it out to the winger for a cross, and finally, boom, the striker finishes the job. Now, every single touch, every single pass in that 5-step sequence before the striker actually takes the shot, that right there, that is the buildup. Okay, Section 3, mastering space and movements. Let's talk about passing lanes. These are basically the invisible lines between you and your teammates. You can think of them like hidden pathways all over the pitch. The really great teams, they are constantly shifting their movement to open these up, while smart defenders are relentlessly scrambling to close them down. Honestly, if you can start seeing these passing lanes, it's like seeing the matrix of the match. Then you have this concept of playing through the lines. This is a pass that goes right through the opponent's midfield, completely bypassing several players at once. You'll hear commentators praise this all the time, and for good reason. It's a devastatingly efficient way to eliminate multiple defenders with just one single, piercing vertical pass. It breaks down the opponent's defensive structure in an absolute instant. Now, let's look at something a little bit more advanced, but man, is it sneaky and effective. It's the elusive third man run. Here is exactly how it works. Player A passes to player B. Naturally, everyone on the defending team immediately turns to watch player B. But meanwhile, player C, our third man, quietly runs into that newly created space to receive the next pass. It's beautifully simple, but notoriously difficult to defend against. Ultimately, you have to remember that football is fundamentally a game of space. For example, if a striker drops deep and drags a center back with him, a winger can then just surge into that newly unprotected space and score without the striker ever needing to touch the ball again. Their movement is what manipulated the space, and it was that space that actually created the goal. All right, moving to Section 4, the arsenal of passes. To effectively exploit all those spaces we just talked about, top-tier teams rely on a very specific toolkit. This arsenal includes your safe short passes to retain possession, long passes to completely flip the attack, those defense-splitting through balls, traditional crosses from wide areas, and of course, the modern tactical favorite, the cutback. There's a saying out there that modern teams score many goals from cutbacks because they often find teammates arriving late into the box. And it's so true. Cutbacks are just absolutely lethal in today's game. Pulling the ball backwards from the byline perfectly targets those late runners, and it completely throws off a retreating defense because, well, they're all facing their own goal. Next up, Section 5, spotting patterns of play. You know, elite teams heavily orchestrate their attacks based on countless hours of practice. If you really watch closely, you'll start spotting repeatable sequences. Like, say, a right back finding a winger who hits the attacking midfielder, who immediately plays a through ball to score. If you see that exact progression happen multiple times in a single match, you aren't just watching random attacks anymore. Nope, you've identified a deliberate pattern of play. And finally, Section 6, the analyst challenge. As an analyst, clear communication is totally key. Part of your pitch vision homework is really mastering this tactical vocabulary. So whether you're tracking a build-up, playing through the lines, looking for a passing lane, a third-man run, or a cutback, knowing these terms in both English and Bengali is going to help you articulate those complex patterns clearly and professionally. Okay, let's test your mindset for a second. When a team seems stuck just passing sideways, don't be that frustrated fan screaming at the TVs, spilling their popcorn, and asking why they aren't just launching the ball forward. That is purely fan behavior. Instead, I want you to use your new analyst mindset. Ask yourself, are they deliberately retaining possession to slowly shift the opponent and pry open a hidden passing lane? They aren't stuck, they are probing. To really build up those analytical muscles, make it a habit to pause after every single goal you watch from now on. I want you to ask yourself 4 crucial questions. 1, where did the move start? 2, who created the space? 3, what defensive mistake happened? And 4, could the goal have been prevented? Start applying this framework today. Seriously, try it out. What invisible games will you finally be able to see the next time the ball hits the back of the net?